Alright, hello! So, the Endo system came out, and now we've got a lot to talk about it. And there are high majority great things to talk about here. So, let's just get started. So, up here in the top left, you can see the rank 10 common max, how much Endo that takes, and how much energy it did take. So, these are like direct equivalents, essentially. 16,000 became 40,000, and so on. Basically, all they did was multiply it by 2.5. All of these have just been multiplied by 2.5, and that's what you end up in Endo. I imagine the reason that they did that is because this just looks nicer. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Nothing changed there, really. All that stuff is pretty much exactly as it was. Moving on from that, we have our true core energy. So, this is the previous system's, like, each core held this much energy, but if you actually do the effective energy of each individual core, you divide this by 2, because you can only use half of the fusion core's energy in fusion in the old system, and then multiply by 2.5. That's how you get your exact conversion per core. So, if you're the kind of person that screenshotted your collection and you're like, I want to prove that I had this, and then how much Endo should I have whenever they convert all this stuff? If you want to go through and do the exact math for that, that chart is there for you to do so. But the main ones I have right down here, which is the rare 5s, the uncommon 5s, and the common 3s. So these were all rounded up after conversion, but whenever you just do the math, they end up at 77.5, 47.5, and 14.75. So basically, all your rare 5s are going to become 78, individually rounded up, I believe. And these are going to be 48 individually rounded up, I believe. And overall, whenever this conversion happens, you're going to get like roughly 1% gains overall, which gains are gains. Can't argue with that. Direct conversion is totally fine. And then beyond that, if you wanted to do your all rarities to Endo, commons are now worth 5 Endo per, unranked, 10 Endo per, 15 Endo per, and 20 Endo per. Obviously, you're not going to be like dissolving your prime mods, probably, but if you wanted to, they're worth 20 Endo. Don't do that. So that's like the normal main stuff, easy shits, conversion stuff. All of that went over pretty much exactly as we'd expect, and we got a little bit of a benefit out of our conversions. On that side, with cores. On the other hand, there is a normalization that took place across duplicate effectiveness, so we need to talk about that stuff. So here at the top, you can see exact dupes needed in the old system versus the new system. So, in the old system, any amount of duplicates, 1,023, is the amount of duplicates you needed to max out a rare 10, or any rank 10. Just rank 10, like if it was rank 10 common, how many vitalities do you need? You need 1,023. You'll have a max vitality that way. If it's a fucking primed reach, if you somehow happen upon 1,023 primed reaches, you can max that mod that way. Don't do that, but you could totally do it that way. And you can see in the new system that the amount of duplicates that it would take is double that, 2,046, which looks bad. Up here, like this is the nerf section of this. That looks bad at face value. It does. I'm not going to say it doesn't, because that would be a lie. So, for those of you that are on console, if you have perfect duplicates, you should fuse them now. That's all there is to it, really. If you don't have a max vitality and you got 800 of them sitting around, fuse that shit all in there. You should do that. That's my advice to you. That's what you should do. Otherwise, do literally nothing else, because everything else got better. So if we go down here to non-duplicate same rarity, we can see that in the old system, the same rarity only, not also the matching polarity, took 4,092. Which is clearly much worse, because it's double this number. So this was very bad, but if they were matching polarity, you would get 2,046, which is the same here. And it's the same as up here, because everything got normalized to essentially be matching polarity. Essentially. Which is hugely beneficial for a large part of your collection, because, obviously, we've got 5 or 6 polarities, and with that, that means that if you have your D polarity, your vitalities, say you have 800 vitalities, well, those are relatively useful in the old system for fusing up, like, let's say, narrow-minded. It's like, okay, yeah, I could get some ranks on narrow-minded probably with this stack here. but I really want Blind Rage. Well, these are half as effective on Blind Rage. Well, that's really shit, isn't it? And that's not front-facing either in the old system. Like, it's kind of hard to know that, because they never tell you that the matching polarity thing even exists, period. So that kind of sucks dick. So, for situations like that going forward in this new system, basically, those 800 vitalities are worth the exact same amount, and it's the higher matching polarity amount from the old system as they are to everything now. So those vitalities are now twice as good at leveling up your Blind Rages, Prime Continuities. What's a non-V polarity one? There are not a lot of non-V polarity rank 10s. The efficiency mod in Arcwing, that's a dash. Fuck you. That's like the only one I can think of. The efficiency mod in Arcwing. There you go. That's a rank 10 dash. So basically, for the purposes of like most of what you're going to be leveling up, everything got way better. Like twice as good, in fact. Which lowers the farm for a lot of that stuff significantly because your duplicates are worth usually double or the exact same. And having it be some are doubled and some are exactly as they would be, that's pretty good. That's just a net benefit for everyone on the whole. It's a good normalization. Everything's very simple. That stuff's fantastic. Moving on from that is our cross-rarity fusing. So, this stuff, thank God it got normalized. Thanks so much that it got normalized, because this is the part where it gets really stupid. So, on each side here, this is the common. Obviously, because this is cross-rarity only, that means that these numbers here don't include the common mods it would take to max this, because we already went over that. So it would take 2,000 uncommons, 2,000 or so, 1,300 rares, or 1,023 prime mods, legendaries, to max out a common, if they were not a matching polarity. That's terrible. That's real bad. That was... it's not good. It's not good at all. Cross-rarity, same, was 1,023, 682, 512, which is very, very good, comparatively. Because that means that the requirement cost is cut in half, because this is that 50% bonus we were talking about. And you can see that that's really effective cross. And specifically for prime mods, things got way better, like just numbers-wise. So, if you wanted to use your 800 or so, your 800 vitalities, as we were saying before, to fuse up Prime Continuity, you need 16,000 in the old system in order to do that. So those 800, not really putting any kind of a significant dent in this. Like, it's a little, like, it's 800 mods. So, like, obviously there's a dent made, but not a, like, decent one for the amount of mods you're fusing in. But if they were the matching, it costs half that. So it was 8,000. Now, since everything has been normalized, if you use 8,000 commons, which is, like, not actually crazy outlandish, if you're, like, farming a lot, maybe, like, you're a person who plays Necros. I'm sure you actually have a lot of commons if your main thing that you play is Necros, because you probably have Desecrate on all the time now, or you were Desecrating beforehand. So you probably have a lot of fucking commons laying around. You might have, like, a stack of 1,500 vitalities, like 800 redirections, like 700 reaches. Like, you've got all these things lying around. Those add up. Those add up very, very fast if you play long enough. And with this being normalized like this and being more valuable to us, you gain a lot. A huge amount. And, like, let's not even go with, like, all rarities are more effective now. Like, all of them. All that stuff is way better. It lowers the farm significantly. But, let's talk about drops now. So, we have this. And this is going over the main places where we would get cores in the previous system and how those have changed. And one of these is going to be a little controversial in that I might say it and people might be a little angry with me, which I'll understand, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. So if we start up here, we're talking about sortie rewards. We have 4,000 Endo replacing our 50 cores and 2,000 Endo replacing our 25 cores. So this is actually more of a net gain to us than I initially thought that it would be. So if you actually translate 50 rare 5 cores, it goes to 3,900, which means there's another 100 Endo, another gain, that we're getting outside of that 1% like conversion gain. We're also getting gains just to make these look like nice fucking numbers, which I totally get. If you look at the sortie rewards and it was like 3,900 and 1,950 Endo, like, as a player that didn't know about the old system and doesn't know about, like, the rare 5 to this conversion, if you saw those numbers in the sortie rewards, you'd go, Why? For what fucking purpose is it 3,900 in 1950? Literally who? But because it looks nicer this way, it's a huge benefit for us. So, sorting rewards are more valuable now. And I'd like to say, maybe, this is just a potential suggestion. Maybe if someone, any guy, like you, like maybe you're the guy that works at DE, maybe you were like an art guy at DE, I don't know. Maybe suggest to somebody that, hey, maybe instead of getting like a Wraith Twin Viper part, if they get that, they could also opt out of it and randomize like between 25 and 50 cores of Endo. Just flip a coin and get some Endo instead, because I don't want to fucking get shitty sortie rewards. Like, I get a lens, hey, maybe like be like, oh, you didn't want the lens? Hey, do you want Endo instead? That would make sorties way more valuable. And like by more valuable, I just mean that they'd be worth running absolutely every day, no matter who you are. Because I don't think anyone has maxed out every single mod in the game yet. I could be wrong on that. I'm actually, you know, there's probably somebody that's done it already. Probably. But like, for the other 99% of players, that'd be nice. It's like you go into a sortie, and you know no matter what, if you get a reward you don't like, you go, roll me Endo instead. And if you get 2,000 Endo, that's always useful to you. I would really like for that to be a thing in sorties. I don't know, maybe that could happen. That's what I would personally love a lot, because whenever I get, like, parts to a weapon I already have, I'm not, like, the person that wants to go trade that for, like, 10 platinum. So, I would like to get Endo. That's, like, the best reward for me as someone who has a lot of stuff done in the game. Obviously, that's obviously selfish in kind of my opinion, but whatever. Moving on. Enemy drops. So, this stuff was all kind of rounded to make look good as well. So now the drops are 15, 50, and 80, which means we get another slight gain on everything that's not the commons that would drop. Commons are still 15, because 15 is already a nice looking number, and then otherwise it goes up to 50 from what it would be at, like, actual conversion 48, and up to 80 from what it would be at actual conversion 78. So, net gains again for us from enemy drops. Now here's the part where we're going to start talking about things that are a little controversial. Huracan, as it stands right now, is 5 times 15, which is, that's bad. If you actually multiply that out, that's like less than one rare 5 core. But we have this. Rebecca tweeted out in response to a lot of the Huracan stuff. Just played Huracan herself, saw the same thing, which is 1 rare 5. We'll figure it out. So, I'm going to encourage everyone to not freak out about this yet. At least give them a couple days. Because this launched on Friday, a lot of people at DE don't work on the weekends. Give them just a little bit of time before we just, like, flame them all to hell and be like, what the fuck? Like, it's totally fine to be like, hey, that's not correct. Like, this needs to be fixed. But, like, don't go, like, full doomsday hell machine. Like, things get fucked up all the time whenever, like, updates go out. Things stay fucked up a little bit for a while. A couple days of not super efficient farming. It's not going to kill you. But after, like, let's say Wednesday, then that becomes, like, super fucked up. Like, super fucked. Like, Wednesday is the regular update day, and, like, it should definitely be fixed by then. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think that's totally, like, metered and totally, like, fine. If it gets fixed on Wednesday, I'll be a happy camper. Otherwise, then I think it's time, like, community-wise, like, that is the time to get mad, because it didn't get fixed to what it should be. So, in the actual conversion, if you just do 5 rare 5s converted, you get 390. Which, to make it look good, I hope they would make it 400 even. It'd be a nice bonus for us, honestly. Hopefully it works out that way. Because, as we saw beforehand, if I get rid of this tweet here, if we pull this over, this is how long it takes in the old system to max stuff out. So, if I just show this right here, common rank 10 takes about 4 hours of doing old Huracan to max one out. That's common. A single common rare 10, 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. If they just bump it up a little bit on the place that we would normally farm, like by 10 Endo, make it a little bit shorter of a farm, like just a little bit shorter, that would probably like knock off like maybe 30 minutes. I don't think that's unreasonable. It would look very nice. That stuff's great. Also, to go along with that, if we look over here at this 15 times or 5 times 15, like as a reward, whenever that pops up, it just looks really fucking strange. So even if it like popped up and it was like 5 times 80, it's like what? Why is that like that? Can it just say 400? That would make more sense. And whenever I initially saw that, that kind of reinforced for me that it's like, oh no, that's definitely bugged. So just a little bit of leeway is all I'm saying. Like, obviously, it's unacceptable, and, like, it's super fucked, and that is, like, a nutso nerf. Like, if they made the drops, like, 350, it's like, okay, that's a tiny minor nerf that, like, we can deal with, and whatever, we get it. That would be something that's like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. You nerfed it by 40 endo, essentially. Eh. Eh. That's deal withable. But nerfing it by, like, a couple hundred is totally fucked up with how long it takes to max these things. Like, oh wait. Whoops, I'm very sorry, guys. There we go. Now you can see the times. Sorry about that. 16 hours to max a legendary. 16 hours is a long time. I don't think I need to tell anyone that. Like, if you did that in one day, like, that all that's left for you is sleep. And that's only if you're doing it super efficiently. Like, if I pull this up a little bit, like, the amount of, like, time per core, like, time per mission is, like, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, doing it on average for me. And I'm pretty fast. So I'm sure a lot of players like to relax and not go super hard speedrun for 16 hours. So it would actually take a little bit longer than that at base, so that's all I'm saying. But I'm also saying, like, give it a little bit. The update just came out on Friday. You know what it is. But let's be done talking about that and move into the actual game so I can show what we're actually going to be dealing with here in terms of the new menus and stuff and how all that stuff works. So let's move on in there. Here we are in the Lizette. We've got our mod station right here. If we open this up, I have it set to duplicates already, and you see we have a new button here. We can still sell mods, but we can also dissolve mods into Endo, which is displayed up here. And as you saw before, how much it costs like per maxing out different ranks of mods. I have about enough to max a rare 10 right now. And by about enough, I mean a little over. So that's how much endo I have. I actually maxed out 2 prime mods after the conversion happened because I got rid of like stacks of 800 vitalities and shit, as I was saying before. So the way that this works is, let's take a body count. Select that, and you can go to fusion, and you can rank it up. And ranking it up is just this plus and this minus. Super simple. There are no partial ranks anymore. Everything about that is great. And as you can see, 310 endo and like 15k credits. Awesome. And then you can just apply, and you can see what each rank costs exactly. All that stuff is great. If you have the required endo, it's just there. You don't have to go down and fuck around with anything down here. Awesome. If you have a legendary core, you have this menu over here where you can just check it. Costs 0 everything, obviously, as you would expect from a legendary core, and it just maxes it out. Also, shortcut for those of you who have a legendary core, like just clicking this, like if it's here, 1 second. There's a little bit of danger associated with this if you misclick. But like if it's at 0, like you can save yourself some clicks by just double clicking the legendary core and then clicking apply. I just went through and leveled a shit ton of mods after this update happened. So heads up for those of you that have a legendary core just sitting around. Beyond that, to get rid of stuff, obviously we talked about 1 common is worth 5 endo. And then you can just dissolve that. Beyond that, you can select entire stacks with your middle mouse click, and you can see how fast like the endo adds up. These uncommons and rares are obviously worth more, because rares are worth 15 each, and uncommons are worth 10. Like, you can see how fast this adds up. If I was to get rid of the duplicates I don't need, then I would probably actually be able to max another prime mod, I think. Yeah, almost certainly. Almost certainly, because there's a lot of duplicates I still don't need, that I just have like 5 or so of a lot of different rare mods and stuff. But yeah, that's that. Also, with that middle mouse click, it becomes a lot easier to sell huge stacks of mods for those of you that are short on credits. But yeah, overall, this is just great. And beyond that, also, if you guys want to see exactly how much you need to level stuff up, if you're at, like, okay, if you're at 0, you need to rank this up. You can still go to rank 10 here, but it'll just say you don't have enough endo, so you can see how much you do need. So, like, if you don't have enough for, say, let's say I don't have enough to max out Prime Heated Charge. Like, I need to put the last 2 ranks on that. The last 2 ranks of Prime Heated Charge are 30k, because obviously the last couple of ranks make up the huge bulk of the endo you need. Like, this is 10k, and this is 300k total. So, as you can see, up to rank 8 is only 10k, which is why most things go to rank 8, and then you sit there for a while. But you can see this is 30k, so you can see the exact amount you need for whenever you're ready to totally max out a mod. It's also worth noting the only reason I'm not maxing this is because it would leave me with too few endo. Like an amount of endo that I'm not comfortable sitting at. But yeah, that's how it works now. It's super simple. It's been simplified down to like a form that makes perfect sense. All they need to do is have like a good new player tutorial for ranking up mods, and it'll be absolutely perfect. Once they fix Huracan, and well, a lot of the other drops in the game too, if I'm being honest, it'll just be a net benefit of like just everything went better. Like, we're getting between like 1 and 5% gains across the board. Farm times will go down. The system is very clean. It works well. Everything's nice about it. The only thing is those drops from Huracan and some other missions. That's it. Once that gets fixed, this system is just great. It's just a pure benefit to like everything. You can't sell Endo, which is like a kind of minus for people that would sell rare 5 cores, but in the part 2 of like this Endo update and stuff, there's going to be that new thing called treasures. So you will be able to sell treasures, which I think is going to replace that kind of side of the plat market. So if you're a trader, still don't worry about it. I imagine that stuff will be fixed out for you, and it will probably be a lot more fun for you to farm treasures than to farm just Huracan for hours and hours and hours to make platinum. I don't know. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Not my thing to sell the Endo that I would be farming. But yeah, that's everything, I think. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, well, maybe not tomorrow. I think I might be streaming a little bit later. This is probably gonna be up at like around 11 or 12. So around then, I think I'm gonna stream for just a little while, a little tiny short Sunday stream. And I'll see you guys then, hopefully. Hopefully you come out for that. It's not going to be Warframe, spoilers, but yeah, should be fun. Should be fun regardless. See you guys tomorrow.